Fala pessoal, vou mudar meu relógio aqui, daqui a aproximadamente quase 2 horas, né? Vai ser dada a largada daqui de cima. A largada das 24 horas de Daytona, edição 2024, vai ser dada a largada daqui de cima, como vocês podem acompanhar, a movimentação, os fãs aqui no meio da pista, os carros indo, se posicionando lá no que eles chamam de pré-grid, eles vão sair para 2 voltas de apresentação e logo que essas 2 voltas de apresentação estiverem completadas, a Tânia, que está aqui do lado, a gente já fez uma entrevistinha junto com ela, ela vai dar a largada para mais uma edição das 24 horas de Daytona. A previsão do tempo é muito boa, provavelmente não vai chover. E vou falar uma coisa para vocês, de todas as Daytonas, todas as edições que eu vim para cá, eu tô vindo para cá desde 2003, foi a minha primeira Daytona, eu nunca vi um evento tão quente. Eu já vi vários eventos extremamente frio, quase ao ponto de nevar, mas tão quente para essa época do ano. Tudo bem, a gente está na Flórida, mas mesmo assim tá bem quente. E isso daí vai deixar a corrida interessante, vai aumentar o desgaste de pneus de todo mundo e eu tenho certeza que a gente vai ver várias estratégias por aí. Fala pessoal do Pelas Pistas. Bom, vou ter que passar para inglês agora, mas essa minha amiga aqui. How long do we know each other first?
At least 24 years.
Already?
This is my 23rd Rolex. 23rd.
Wow, so 23rd. So the young lady here does all the starts, restarts, and checkered. So when you guys on TV see the flag waving like this, all crazy and funky, but very cool, it's her responsibility.
Yes. And I love it. I'm very fortunate to be able to do it for so long, especially to someone like him. I always enjoyed giving Christian the checker.
When you get the checkered, obviously, especially if you're in P1, right?
Yeah, I give him a dip.
Yeah. Sometimes it happened that we were not in P1. Oh, most likely, more times it happened when we were not in P1 than when we were not in P1. But when we were in P1, it's a huge honor to get the checkered from her and get the checkered here in Daytona. It's even bigger.
Absolutely.
Fala pelas pistas?
Ele escuta pelas
Não, fala português.
Fala português.
Eu sou Filipe, eu moro na Áustria, eu piloto o carro 24. Tchau.
Tchau. Você mandou muito bem, ensinou bem ele. Agora fala pelas pistas.
Pelas pistas. What does it mean? Pelas pistas. Pelas pistas. Pelas pistas. Não, eu escuto pelas pistas. Eu escuto pelas pistas.
Line it up, guys. Line it up.
Fala pessoal do Pelas Pistas, eu tô aqui com um grande amigo meu, já dividiu muito o carro comigo, Antônio Garcia, e agora a gente vai explicar um pouquinho sobre o carro dele, que ele vai estar acelerando nas 24 horas. Hey Antonio, what's up? All good?
Yeah, I see you.
First, explain us more or less why the whole setup of the seat is like this, why do we have the bungees, why the belts are apart, and
Yeah, it's just to make things easier for the driver change. So whenever we are plugged, you see like the actual belts, they kind of stay together. But as soon as we release, they go back to place. So when we go in and out of the car, they are apart instead of falling behind you and everything. So you're not allowed to run this bungees on the upper ones, but we have like a magnet on this one just to so it stays there when you do a driver change. So I actually use driver insert. That would be my thing. So, and that's what you do when you came out. All the belts will open. You just jump out. New car, the new guy will jump in, and no insert, and you just buckle yourself up. And obviously, maybe not in Daytona, but there are many races where this is a very important part of the race because you have to be doing it in between 15, 16 seconds. So, yeah, that's where it is.
So between Sims, you Cadella, and yourself, how many inserts you have?
It's only me, the one that I have a little pad underneath.
Because he's the smallest one.
Probably, and also because I have knee surgery, and I kind of raise myself a little bit, so I don't raise myself during driving.
Okay.
But yeah,
He's a very humble person. The knee surgery is because he usually runs marathons at what, 3:30? Like what's your record?
2:56.
Oh shit!
2:56
Wow.
minutes. I mean, 2
Sub
hours.
3.
Sub 3.
I thought it was over 3.
No,
Sub
sub 3.
3 for those that run, it's unbelievably impressive. So hop in the car so you can explain us a little bit about the steering wheel.
Yeah. So when the other guy comes out, you just put the net out. The door will be here. You can raise the steering wheel like this. You don't need to take it in and out. I mean, it will be a little bit more difficult being in the high stance now, but you just jump in and fall in, basically. So you'll do your belts first, and then you will just lower your steering wheel, and you
So
will
you
be good to
basically
go.
have different adjustments according to each driver, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
so you could go with a higher column.
Yeah, but I mean, we are pretty similar in that way. So you can stand here, or you can actually choose different positions here if you want to. But with the insert, we are pretty much everyone in the same position. So we barely touch that. So another thing we can touch is the pedals. So if we can pull here, you can go
That is cool.
long. You can go long or short on the pedals. So Sims, for example, will be here. So he has a very long torso but very short legs, and I'm completely opposite. So now it's set up that the shortest one is Sims, the longest one is Cadella. So from there is only 2 positions. I'll be the one that I need to find my position in between, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, so have a look at this. This is unbelievably impressive. Sort of very quickly explain us what's going on here in the steering wheel.
You can have, I mean, obviously you have the main buttons. The ones you use the most are very accessible. So radio for sure. Drive means that now that we have no manual clutch, which is here, that I actually activated, basically you depress this button and you have 5 seconds to have automatic clutch. So you just put your foot on the gas and the car does it automatically instead of doing it yourself. Start button, stop button, so you can pre-select this. If you have the pit speed in and you select stop, I mean now because the car is stopped, it would actually, as soon as you go below 3 miles an hour, the car will die. So you don't actually have to stop the car. And then you have different knobs. I mean, these are TC settings. So this is longitudinal
traction control.
and then you have yaw, which is where you can control the slip angle you want.
Yeah.
So you can combine
Depending on
both.
how much yaw you have in
Yeah,
the car.
that's it. So you can kind of find the sweet spot between both, whatever you like, or depending on tire deck, if it's going south, maybe you want to play a little bit with that. And then there is very simple. This is indicators which I don't use, and these are pre-selected kind of pages where you can go basically.
So you have more or less information here
Yeah,
in the dash.
basically. Yeah, that's the thing. So you can actually be an instructor from the pits. If, for example, your pit speed is set up a little bit high, so because maybe you're getting penalties even if you are set to 60k an hour, maybe you're still getting penalties. So you can go to a certain multi-function and then go up and down, select, so you readjust the whole thing, and then it's multiple functions, but normally is the engineers telling you in the radio what not to do, and then press option and this, so kind of go up, go down. There is so many different things you can do, but mainly what we have for driving is just here. That will be the main page. So everything, it goes there. I mean, we have something popping up every time we change, so we actually know instead of looking at there. But this is pretty much what we use. So it's like core temps, tire pressure. There's kind of a reference. You can put in a reference lap just to know if you are going faster or slower, just for your reference while driving. Liters per lap on the previous one, so you can adjust your consumption, or if you are told by the pits that you need to hit a fuel number per lap, that's the number you are looking at. And yeah.
So fuel consumption. He brought up something very important, because I used to burn a lot of fuel and he was always very good with the fuel. It's true. Yeah. He was always the best in the fuel and I was a disaster with fuel. Eu tô aqui na linha de largada, consequentemente na linha de chegada aqui de Daytona. E como no ano passado, olha o que eu vou fazer. Eu não tô assinando meu nome, eu assinei pelas pistas para vocês. Até mais.